So, you're probably wondering how I got here. Thousands of feet up in the air next to a Google executive and record label founder flying to somewhere in Scotland in a 50-year-old plane. Well, to do that, we need to rewind to when I met this guy, Craig Fenton. But who is Craig Fenton?
I'm Craig.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a dad. During the day I work at Google. I'm a director of strategy and operations for the business here in the UK and Ireland, as well as France, Italy, Spain and Portugal.
It's quite a lot of countries for quite a big company, that, isn't it? Google and all of those mentioned.
Yeah, it is. I am an investor, angel investor. I've got nine companies, little startups that I'm invested in. I love working with young entrepreneurs, and I have my own record label.
Investing isn't busy enough. Not busy enough doing Google, so we'll set up a little record label on the side.
And everyone who works at the company, you're one of the advisors, and others are volunteers. It's a social enterprise, and it's about giving young artists their start.
I've been exploring how kind of the Zach and Jay show can do something in music. We've got great artists that we put in our videos. When I saw you setting up a record label, I was like, oh, that sounds quite cool. How did we connect? Why am I in your garden right now?
We connected on LinkedIn. It's my platform of choice. I make a point of trying to meet 2 or 3 new people every week. When I saw your message pop in, I'm a huge fan of the Zach and Jay show.
Yeah, that was cool actually. Craig actually knew about the Zach and Jay show, which I thought was quite weird because normally our audience are like 20-year-old guys and girls, and yeah.
It's quality stuff, it's funny, it's well put together.
It is.
You know, I'm in good company, almost 1 million others like it as well, from a subscription point of view.
Very true, you raise very good points, Craig, yeah.
I was really keen to talk to you because I don't really know what I'm doing with the record label. I sort of know digital quite well, but I don't know much about music. I'm learning pretty rapidly. You have a perspective, you're a keen rap fan yourself.
And I think it's quite weird for me, Craig, as well, because I am sat in your garden, you've got a lovely house, and I'm also on the record label with the ex-president of Sony Europe. How did that happen? Like, I connected with him like 3 months ago, and now this has all happened. So yeah, I think it was very cool, to be honest.
It is very cool. I have a few side hustles outside that. Obviously, I love flying planes.
Yeah.
You know about that. We had our friend James Lee from Buddy's Aviation.
We did, good old Jimbo.
He's very experienced, more experienced than I am.
But less risk averse, I would say.
Well, I think that comes with experience. He knows the boundaries, he knows the envelope a lot better than I do.
Very flippantly would talk about getting wet if you were flying over ocean.
Also, we've gone to the Shetland Islands, and how brave you are. Single engine plane over water. If the engine stops, you get wet.
But yeah, he knew what he was doing. I felt very in safe hands, to be fair.
With me or with James?
With you, but with you and James felt in either safer hands, yeah. Safe with the pair of hands.
Enough chat, back to the flying.
Craig, that's my bit, I'm the YouTuber.
Just to conclude, I messaged Craig on LinkedIn. Turns out he loves the show. He had me on his podcast. Yes, he's got a weekly podcast as well. I joined his record label advisory group. Now he's got to be flying to Scotland. His 50-year-old plane. I don't even like flying. We're also doing an Instagram live this Wednesday, 7 p.m, so you can ask him questions yourself. See you then. Back to the flying off.
The Zach and Jay Show.
As you can imagine, I have no idea what to expect with this. I'm pretty weird with flights as it is. When it takes off and you know, you're not sure whether you're gonna die or not, usually you're all right, but you know, that moment you think it could be the time. Do I need to put my passport? Should probably check that. I'm definitely not regretting saying yes yet. We're not on a steep decline at rapid rates with everyone panicking. That's when I'll regret saying yeah. But so far, I'm still very excited for the journey.
It was time for me to get some sleep, as tomorrow I'd be flying from White Waltham Airfield to Kirkbride to God knows where in Scotland in a tiny private plane.
So here we are.
Here we are. These things, they fly at about 100 miles an hour, which is reasonably slow.
Yeah.
Like white van in the sky.
Yeah, white van in the sky. I like that.
Whoa, is that a bird? Is that a plane? No, it's a giant subscribe button telling you to subscribe if you've not already. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers by June.
I'm still looking around and going, what am I doing here? What's going on? But
this was the crazy world of aviation. They were discussing air pressure, wind direction, flight paths, stuff I have never even thought about but were crucial for any safe flight.
White van of the sky. There she is. My plane, my plane, my plane. It's gonna be sick, I'm buzzing.
Now it was time for safety checks, and they were lucky I was on deck to ask the hard questions.
And what's that, sorry?
Stall warner, so it tells you if the plane's about to stop flying.
It's quite important.
Yeah, good to know.
Wings. They are on. Pretty wobbly, but that's fine. The things that are gonna... There are the life jackets, just in case we need them. We don't need them. This is where they keep the planes. Look at this thing. Do they fly this little convertible? Looks like a cardboard box. Where's the roof? What the hell? Mate, this is actually mad.
No phone calls, just texts. VIP brother, she can't get on the guest list. She's impressed with how
Mate,
the
this is
boy
a mad
manifested.
But enough of this, looking at weird aircrafts. It was time to taxi this plane to James, and then it was time for takeoff.
It's prime engine, we'll need to do that this morning.
We need to do that. What is that?
Magneto. Just feet on the pedals.
Quite weird, like I'm just going straight. It doesn't feel like I'm in any other vehicle. It does not feel like a car. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, a boat or train or anything. It sounds a bit silly, but do you have indicators on planes? No. Yes. Filling it up. Last time on touching ground, the old flight. Going in. Oh, I'm trying to get this Scotland video done. Can you get it, please, mate?
Okay. Hey Zach, Domino's here. We know how much Jay loves chicken pizza, so we thought we'd send you our new vegan range Chick Ain't Pizza. We'd love to see what you think.
Oh my god, that is the pizza that I love, right there. Oh, delicious.
Well, what if I told you it's completely vegan?
No way!
No way. Domino's do vegan? Veganuary may be over, but I'll be getting this in Feb.
Wow, that's amazing! Dom's on the outside, vegan on the inside. Try their Chick Ain't range now and vegan nuggets.
Brilliant, right. Right, so we've got the life jackets on the back seat. If you do need to get out another way, if you just spin it round,
Yeah.
and give them windows
Awesome.
them as hard as you can.
Okay.
And they're only perspex, so if we do have any issues, we'll probably pop the door open before we land. Just before we do land, make sure you tighten up your seatbelt.
Yeah.
And then before we come down, one of us will say brace, brace, brace.
Right.
Basically, lean forward, hand over your head like that.
Yeah.
Hands over your head, because if we do bounce, you are going to bounce off the roof.
I couldn't believe what was happening.
Right, whiskey taking off.
I was about to take off in a plane built in the 70s with two men, one that I've met on LinkedIn and one on the airfield 3 hours ago. I could see my life flashing before my eyes. Why had I trusted this record label owner to fly me to Scotland? I didn't even know where I was staying.
Right, Jamie?
Was that a normal takeoff? Yeah. Was that about bumpy as anything? Well, not any danger, it's fine. A white van of the sky.
White man of the sky, go for Trenton. We're unstoppable, lads.
Phew! Now that was hairy. But once I got used to the lumps and bumps, I was enjoying my newfound life in the clouds.
Oh god. Oh, we did it.
Seeing familiar sights.
Swindon down there.
Yeah, with the white buildings.
I know a few people from Swindon. What are you saying?
Until we flew over the sea and James's words started ringing true in my ears.
Single engine plane over water, if the engine stops, you get wet.
But he didn't seem too bothered, so it was fine. And Craig was even giving us a lesson in flying 4,000 feet in the sky.
The cockpit of a PA-28. This one's 45 years old. This here is called the six-pack. This is the airspeed. It's about 100 miles an hour. This is the direction indicator, otherwise known as a compass. And this is a balance ball, so it just tells you which direction the plane is on this axis. We do other gauges there, but we don't use them as clock. These are iPads, sort of like a sat-nav of the air.
There you have it. You're all capable of flying these planes now.
It was time to land for the first stop of the day. The takeoff was rocky to say the least, so it's safe to say that I was nervous. The safety of the clouds were gone. There's nothing to crash into up there. But I could see a very thin piece of tarmac coming closer, closer.
Ground. Yes, ground. Yes. Where are we, Craig? Kirkbride. What's going on?
A quick refuel with some toast and tea, we were off again to Inverness. I was loving this world of aviation, the views, the people I met, flying planes, even if at times I was clinging on to my dear life. What a trip this was turning out to be, all from a LinkedIn message I sent a couple of months back. We had a couple of hours left and I was actually starting to feel pretty relaxed on the journey. That was until Jimbo decides to turn the engine off. Now let me tell you, you never want to be in a plane where you cannot hear its engine. That and your stomach screaming at you, this is not natural. That is a feeling that I do not want to experience again. Being too scared to relax once again, I was more than happy to have been told that we've reached Scotland. Once again, I couldn't wait to touch the ground. In a controlled manner, that is, of course.
You never know where you end up when you do things that have got the unknown attached to them. Coming on this trip, having a flight on Saturday, God knows where we were staying, has worked out all right. Gonna have a few pints now and chill out with the boys.
Cheers mate. James, Craig, pleasure.
Not bad. Just cannot hear a car whatsoever, can just hear birds. I think a lot of people watching this will be like, Zach and Jay, they do the craziest things, they do the maddest things. The reasons why we end up doing these crazy things are just because we say yes to kind of the small things that a lot of people shy away from. Whether it's meet different people who look different to them, who are older than them, who do different jobs to them. I think you never really know how much you miss out on within that little comfort bubble because you're staying in that bubble. Like if I never reached out to Craig, I would never be here.
I would never have flown this 50-year-old plane. I wouldn't be an advisor for Big Community Records, or met Craig or James and had this weird little trip to Scotland, and I definitely wouldn't have made this video on that whole experience that you're watching right now.
Why wait? What are you waiting for? We're living in this time when you can connect with anyone